자, 오늘 지옥 증명할 겁니다. 지옥 증명. 왜 중요한지 여러분 말씀드리겠습니다. 우리가 오전과 오후 계속해서 뭘 봤습니까? 이제 주님께서 다 오셨다. 세상 끊어야 된다. 우리가 그 설교를 좀 나눴습니다. 그 세상을 끊는데 여러분 이게 여러분 도움이 됐으면 싶은 마음에 여러분 준비했습니다. 지옥이 있음을 안다. 지옥이 있음을 내가 믿는다. 여러분 그 믿음이 얼마나 중요한지 아십니까? 내가 죄 지으면 지옥 가는데 내가 세상과 짝하면 이곳에 가는데 라는 것을 이 믿음이 정말 여러분들에게 있으면요 여러분 세상이 무서워집니다. 죄 짓는 것이 무서워질 수 있습니다. 정말 여러분을 천국 가는데 큰 도움을 큰 원동력이 되어줄 겁니다. 한국교회에서는 지옥을 얘기하지 않습니다. 이단입니다. 지옥을 얘기하지 않는 교회는 이단입니다. 하나님이 죄송하지만 저주하십니다. 이 땅에서 지옥을 가장 많이 강조하신 분은요 넘버원 우리 주 예수 그리스도십니다. 심지어 예수님은 너 죄지면 눈 뽑아버려. 그리고 지옥에 가지마. 소금이 많이 그 맛을 잃으면 너희들 던져질 거고. 이거야. 이게 다 뭐냐면 지옥 간다는 얘기입니다. 그런데 이 땅에 예수님의 사상을 전하고 예수님의 자녀들을 예수님의 제자를 만들기 위해서 세워진 그 교회가 예수님이 가장 많이 하셨던 말씀인 이 지옥을 이야기하지 않고 지옥에 대해서 눈 감게 만들고 오히려 사랑만 얘기하면서 난국 못 본 얘기만 하면서 지옥에 대해서 전혀 바라보지 못하게 만드는 것은요 지상 최대의 이단입니다. 너무나 악한 겁니다. 교회에서 가장 많이 강조되어야 될 복음 중에 하나는요 바로 이 지옥입니다. 저는 개인적으로 지옥을 보지 않았습니다. 그리고 어떤 식으로 지옥이 펼쳐질지는 잘 모릅니다. 하지만 오늘 여러분들에게 무엇을 증명해 드릴 거냐면요 이 미디어를 통해서 여러분 지옥이 이런 곳이다 라는 것을 제가 증명할 겁니다. 오늘 설교회 중에 이 그림과 사진을 위주로 제가 여러분들에게 좀 증거를 제시할 건데요 너무나 첩참한 너무나 참담한 봄의 꿈에 보면 두려울 정도의 그런 사진들이 나올 겁니다. 부디 여러분의 영이 다치지 않기를 주 예수 그리스도께서 이 시간 여러분의 마음을 붙잡아 주시기를 간절히 소망하고요. 그래서 다치지 않는 선에서 영이 다치지 않는 선에서 이 지옥이 믿어져서 이것을 이겨내기 위해서 몸부림치는 정말 예수님만 붙잡는 엘라요 주여 불쌍히 여겨주세요 라는 마음만 가질 수 있는 여러분 되시기를 예수님의 이름으로 축복합니다. 먼저 이 사진을 보기 전에요 여러분들이 보셔야 될 영상이 있습니다. 사진을 보기 전에 보셔야 될 영상이 있습니다. 주여 벗어나면 안 되지. 자, 이거 보셨습니까? 거짓 경배 시스템 보신 분들 많이 보셨네요. 안 보신 분들 자, 여러분 안 보신 분을 위해서 보셔야 됩니다. 보시면서요 계속 이 영상을 좀 잘 안 보신 분들이 안 보신 분도 많습니다. 한 명이라도 안 봤으면요 여러분은 그분을 위해서 같이 도와주셔야 됩니다. 이것을 보고 앞에 불 좀 꺼주세요. 자, 이것을 봐야지 제가 이제 뒤에 나오는 그 사진들을 설명을 할 때 여러분들이 이해가 되십니다. 자, 함께 보십시다.
Come here to Kingsburg, and I just ask that you, and Him only shalt thou, to your feelings, has been trying to manipulate our forms of worship. But what does it mean, that spirit, that non-physical part of our human characteristics, our emotions, the soul? So you see, what is the only thing that you're taking to heaven with you? Does anybody know? Your character. And it's made up of two things. Do you know what two things your character is actually made up of? Your thoughts and your feelings. That's it. Your thoughts and your feelings. And what do movies mess with? Your thoughts and your feelings. So it's really important to understand in this whole realm of worship, we're dealing with our characteristics, our souls. If you look at Cain and Abel here, Cain thought he was worshiping God. Remember, he built the altar to worship God, but he said, God, I'm going to actually worship you in my own way. I'm going to put my fruits and vegetables and the labors that I have because I want to worship you like this. And what was the result of that? God was displeased with his form of worship.
뒤에 안 보입니까?
Cain became angry and murdered his brother Abel. If you look at the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt, and they were so in need of worshiping something, and here Moses had gone up into the mountain, and he'd been away from them for not even 30 days, and God had done all these amazing things for them, and they had this need to just worship something. They begged Aaron, they said, give us something to worship. So here they built this calf and entered into a false system of worship. And when Moses came down, he broke the Ten Commandments, and as a result, a lot of Israelites fell into that apostasy. Balaam and his donkey, if you remember what happened right at this story, remember, the Israelites had been traveling around for 40 years, wandering in the wilderness, and they had just come out of the wilderness, and they were standing in between the promised land at the River Jordan. And they were looking into this land that they had been promised, that forefathers had been promised that it would be theirs. And all the other nations that were on the other side of the land of Canaan, they've heard the stories. They knew that when they came out of the land of Egypt, that God had completely annihilated the Egyptians to give them the ability to leave. So they knew that there was this mighty, mighty people that were going to come to their promised land and take it. So the Midianite kings, they were the ones that came to Balaam. They knew that Balaam was a prophet. And they said, look, we are so scared, we don't know what to do. We know that we have no power over these people. Why don't you come and curse them? Because we know who you curse is going to get cursed, and we know who you bless is going to get blessed. And if you remember, Balaam, with his whole donkey that talked to him, he couldn't curse the Israelites. He ended up blessing them 3 times. And so, as a result of that, the Midianite kings were just like, there's absolutely nothing that we can do. So they came up to Balaam and they just said, please tell us something. And Balaam said, I'll tell you what, if you want to beat the Israelites, as long as they're following their God, you cannot touch them. You can't do anything to them. But if you want to get them to fall out of the favor of God, all you need to do is make a festival, throw some parties, and invite the Israelites to come to your parties and let them just witness how you worship your gods. And Israel will fall prey to spiritual idolatry, and they will fall out of favor of God, and you'll be able to beat them. So that's exactly.
중요한 걸 얘기합니다. 지금 뭐라고 합니까? 이스라엘 백성들이 하나님을 떠나서 다른 이방 민족들이 숭배하는, 우상 숭배하고 신들을 경배하는 것을 보게 하면, 그러면 우상 숭배에 빠지게 된다라고 얘기합니다. 굉장히 중요한 키입니다. 영적으로 굉장히 중요한 키입니다.
What happened? At Balaam's request, they started sending their women into the camp so that it was just a few at a time, unnoticed. And before long, the women got all the men to come to their parties, and a ton of Israelites fell up into an apostasy. And as a result, a huge pestilence broke out, and God gave the order to annihilate anybody that was involved in this. So, a warning was issued. In Deuteronomy 12:30 and 31, it says, and after they have been destroyed before you, be careful not to be ensnared by inquiring about their gods, saying, how do these nations serve their gods? We will do the same. You must not worship the Lord your God in their way, because in worshiping their gods, they do all kinds of detestable things that the Lord hates. They even burn their sons and daughters in the fire as sacrifices to their gods. So here, God is saying, look, don't even try to worship in this way, because this is what happens. You will fall away from true worship of God. And perhaps one of the most infamous stories of a false system of worship is Daniel and his 3 friends and Nebuchadnezzar's golden idol. Nebuchadnezzar got his idea for this idol from his dream. Here God had said, your kingdom will not stand. And he said, oh, no, my kingdom, of course, is going to stand. So he builds his idol completely out of gold in sheer arrogance, saying, the kingdom of Babylon will never fall. We will be victorious throughout the time. And hence you can kind of see how we interpret these. Our artist interpretations are obviously having them stand, in a very arrogant pose. We have many, many different systems of false worship set up today. But I would like to show you a system of false worship that we have today that has striking similarities to this story. What about this? Do you see this? Interesting. A golden idol. This is the Oscars, better known as the Academy Award or the Oscars. This is a highly, highly coveted thing in the film and television world. This is pretty much the cream of the crop, the tippy top. What does it mean to worship? Here is the dictionary definition. I just got this from the Oxford American Dictionary. To treat someone or something with reverence or adoration appropriate to a deity. A deity is, of course, a god. And number 2, an honor given to somebody in recognition of their merit. Now, aren't the Oscars giving somebody something in recognition of their merit? So by just a worldly definition here, this is a worship service.
그러니까 여러분, 오스카상에서 사람에게 상 주지 않습니까? 그게 예배드리는 겁니다. 예배드리는 겁니다. 그 스타에게 예배드리는 겁니다. 우리가 그 시상식을 보면서 막 박수치면서 내 저 좋아하는 스타가 왔어. 그 스타를 예배하는 겁니다. 우상 숭배하고 있는 겁니다.
And in fact, they don't even call it just a service. What is it known as? It's known as a ceremony. The Oscar event is typically the second most watched show each year, with almost 40 million people that watch the Academy Awards, and this is in 2007. I'm not too sure if this has even grown. Do you know what the #1 most watched television show on the face of the planet is? Super Bowl. Do you know what just beat it? Michael Jackson. Just beat the Super Bowl by the most eyes watching on that around the world. Okay? Super Bowl is about 100 million. So this ceremony is a very, very, very highly watched thing in our world. Okay? Now, what I'm going to show you here, this little golden idol that they have here, there's many different ceremonies. They have one that honors music and one that honors television. Now I'm going to show you a clip that Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert will tell you exactly what this golden idol is to them, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, our next 2 presenters have done for fake news what the Fox News Channel has done for fake news. We have Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here tonight.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
이거 진심을 토하는 겁니다. 영적으로 진심을 토하는 겁니다. 이 시상식에 모이는 사람들이 모두 다 신이 없는 멸망의 자녀들, 소돔인들인 겁니다. 근데 여러분 생각하세요. 이 세레머니 시상식을 보면서 즐거워하고 흥겨워하고 막 그런 여러분, 청룡영화제, 대중가요, 결산, 연말결산, 그런 거 보면서 막 즐기는 여러분들, 얘네들 똑같은 겁니다. 신이 없는 소돔인들이 되는 겁니다. 영적으로 똑같은 겁니다.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
We can't just read the prompter.
I'm reading the prompter in here. You can read that in Pablo.
Award show banter is not Pablo. Reality television celebrates the human condition. By illuminating what's extraordinary and ordinary.
It warps the minds of our children and weakens the resolve of our allies.
보세요. 우리 어린이들의 정신을 뒤틀고 우리 조력자들가 오늘 무력하게 만듭니다. TV가 여러분 어린이들의 정신을 뒤트는 겁니다. 뒤트는 겁니다. 애들 TV 보지 말게 하세요. 절대 TV 보지 말게 하세요.
The results are often dramatic and always unexpected. We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
During one of the most highly watched shows in the world. Kneel before your God, Babylon. And you know, they're obviously making a joke about it. Actors absolutely hate the reality world. It's taking a big chunk of their pie.
그러므로 여러분 영적으로요. 여러분이 TV를 보면서 희덕거리고 시간 뺏기고 정신 뺏기고 혼을 뺏기는 것은요. 지금 루시퍼에게 무릎 꿇고 있는 행위인 거예요. 이게 듣기 싫으시겠지만 여러분 이게 사실이에요. 이게 팩트예요. 팩트예요.
But there's truth in every joke. It would not be funny if it wasn't, in a sense, true. So, I started to look into this thing called the Oscars, right? Oscar, where the name comes from, it's Scandinavian and Old English. Could you take a wild guess what the word Oscar means? Divine strength, divine spear. So, divine, of course, is from, of, or like a god, and a spear, of course, is a weapon. Is it possible that they are using these high-profile celebrities as godlike weapons against us? Is that possible? In fact, does anybody know what this building is right here? No, but close. This building is called the Shrine, and it is where the Oscars was held until 1999. Okay? The shrine, the ceremony, all the lingo is all there. The Shrine was founded by these two guys, William Florence and Walter Fleming. They are Scottish Rite Freemasons. Okay? High-ranking 33rd degree Freemasons. In fact, Hollywood has long time been involved in Masonic things. Here, Gene Autry, John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, Cecil DeMille, Clark Gable, Walt Disney. These guys were all involved in the Masonic secret societies and things. For those of you out there that don't know what Freemasonry is, it's a group, a club, so to say, of people. They call it a secret society. There's many different levels that you get involved in. You climb the ranks, and as you kind of complete the different tasks, you get farther and farther up the ladder. The first degrees, that goes all the way up to 33 degrees, the first few degrees are very community-oriented. They help people and everything. The tippy top ones are the ones that are involved in running companies. They're hugely involved in occult practice things, and generally what we barely know about it. There's a book called Morals and Dogma that Albert Pike wrote, and in the book it says, uncover all the layers, we follow Lucifer, the light bearer. So the farther up you get, these guys know exactly what they're doing, okay? But this isn't a meeting trying to convince you about these secret societies. I just want to point something out to you that is fascinating about the Oscars, okay? Oh yeah, these guys too. 3 of the most prominent guys from 20th Century Fox.
자, 이게 지금 여러분 지옥하고 연관이 돼 있습니다. 잘 들으세요. 지금 영화가 다 누구에 의해서 만들어지는 겁니까? 20세기 폭스, 워너브라더스, 메트로 골드윈, 메이어 다 그 영화사죠. 뭐 라이언 왕 나오는 거 이런 거. 빠바바바바바바 이거 다 영화사인데 지금 걔네가 누구 거예요? 프리메이슨들. 프리메이슨들이 누구라고 했어요? 루시퍼를 경배하는 자들이랍니다. 뉴월드 행동 꼬봉들이잖아요. 프리메이슨이. 로마 가톨릭이 실체고. 걔네들이 영화사를 만들고 영화를 전 세계에 보급한 애들입니다. 우리나라도 거기서 자유롭지 못합니다. 이 영화들이 과연 루시퍼를 경배하면서 만든 건데 루시퍼의 영감을 받는데 이게 지옥과 무슨 관계가 있을까요? 관계가 있습니다.
Warner Brothers and Metro Goldwyn Mayer, all 33rd degree Freemasons. This is called, if you guys can see this really well, this is called, the picture on the right Yes, you're right. It's called a Masonic tracing board. What it is a teaching tool that they use to teach the first, second, and third degree Freemasons that are coming into Freemasonry how to spot things that are Freemason. So they hide things in there. Notice there's a ladder. Notice there's a checkered floor. There's a sun that's beaming light onto a greater sun and everything. There's various different elements of sun worship that are in it. This is called the Sun Man right here. If you really peel back the layers and study it, they've incorporated lots of sun worship into their things. Okay? So this model picture is for somebody that's involved in Freemasonry. We'll be able to look at it and go, this is Freemasonry. Okay? This is inside of the shrine. This is what it looks like if you look at the ceiling. You can
전시안입니다.
almost
전시안.
pick out Freemasonry things because there's huge sun motifs. See the
전시안이요.
sun motif in the ceiling? Here's kind of a little bit better of a picture of it. Now this is a clip where he won for The Life is Beautiful. Does anybody remember this? One for Life is Beautiful.
26 nominations and it's 10 Academy Award.
Pause. This is in the shrine. This is in a Freemason building. This is the very last time that this has been held in this building till they moved it to the Kodak Theater, okay? This is a Masonic tracing board. Notice any similarities? Do you see the checkered floor? Do you see the archway? Do you see the sun? Do you see on the stage the sun beaming down onto an altar-looking thing? This is high-ranking.
그러므로 우리는 오스카 시상식이라고 하지만 실질적으로 벌어지는 행위는요. 루시퍼를 경배하는 그런 행위인 겁니다. 시상식이.
Freemasonry that is literally stamping this saying, we own this. This is us. So they moved to the Kodak Theater. This is the Kodak Theater right here. Notice the checkered floor. Notice the sun motif. It gets even more interesting. This right here on the left is called the Gate of Ishtar. It is the gate to Babylon. This picture up here on the top is Isis and Horus. These are Egyptian gods. Peel back the layers. They are sun worship. So sun worship is very much incorporated. In fact, I used to live right near here in Hollywood. If you look through that middle tower where all those people are standing on there, my apartment building that I lived on was right there to the right. And I watched this whole thing being built. Worshipping the sun dates all the way back to Nimrod. All the way back to the start of Babylon. And what they used to believe is that when Nimrod died, he went up into the stars, and all of a sudden we have this born star worship. Well, it continues. What is worshiping stars, though? Where did this idea of star worship start? Revelation 12:4. And he drew a third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to earth. Who drew a third part of the stars from heaven? Satan drew a third part of the stars from heaven and did cast them to earth. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into the heavens. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will be like the Most High. This idea of star worship originated with Satan wanting to be more infamous or more famous than God. And what has happened is now all these stars that have gained and wanted this desire for worship are all now cast down. And what do? They just now changed the names and the things of star worship. People still worship.
그러니까 여러분 모든 것에는요, 영적인 게 있고요, 그리고 현실로 들어가는 게 있습니다. 모든 세계는 그렇습니다. 그걸 플라톤이 이데아에서 잘 설명을 했는데요. 어떻게 설명해야 되나? 이데아 영적인 게 있습니다. 실체가 있습니다. 근데 그 실체는 볼 수 없습니다. 그래서 그 실체가 투영돼서 나타나는 게 현실 세계다라고 하는데요. 그런 겁니다. 사탄이 땅에서 별들을 모아가지고 땅에 던져버렸습니다. 이건 영적인 겁니다. 이 영적인 이데아의 세계가 현실로 나타난 게 바로 우리가 말하는 스타입니다. 그러므로 그 스타를 보면요, 이데아 그 영적인 실체를 보아야 되는데요. 그 실체가 누구냐? 사단이 땅에 내던진 그 귀신들, 악한 영들이라는 겁니다. 따라서 우리가 그 현실 세계인 스타를 보면서 스타 너무 좋아, 막 이렇게 그게 스포츠 스타든 뭐 영화 배우든 뭐 가수건 뭐 기타 여러 가지건 김연아건 뭐 관계없습니다. 그들을 보면서 좋아, 스타 너무 좋아라고 하는 것은 그 실제 뒤에는 그 진짜 이데아 그 진실을 보면요, 그게 바로 사탄, 귀신, 악한 영이라는 겁니다. 따라서 우리는 스타를 경배한다고 하지만요, 실질적으로 스타를 경배하는 게 아니고 그 뒤에 이면에 작용하는 진짜 실체, 진짜 이데아, 진짜 본질인 귀신을 섬기고 있다는 겁니다. 스타는 그런 의미입니다.
Stars, just like they did all the way back. We have football stars, basketball stars, race car stars, hip hop stars, rock stars, movie stars. They're all stars. And do people worship these stars? Are people crazily worshiping these people? Even Kermit the Frog. Somebody who absolutely wasn't even alive on this world, we've immortalized him and put him in stone. So, in 1 Timothy 4:1, it says, Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. This tells me some will depart from the faith. If they're going to depart from the faith, that means that they began with a faith. So how is it that us, in a Christian environment or a Christian world, I was raised in a Christian home, and I went down to Hollywood and within months lost my religion. Months. It took me less than months, probably. How was it that I was able to lose my way? I was obsessed with movies. I watched every kind of movie that was out there. I did not care what it was, who was in it. Watched tons of things. Followed after these stars. I went through the whole acting classes. I wanted to be an actor. I chased that dream for a very long time. Let me show you what I just found in Time magazine online here. I thought this was just fascinating. Celebrity worship. Is it good for your health? Who among us has fallen victim to a little bit of celebrity worship? And now new scientific research has found that celebrity crushes are not only common, but may even be healthy. A study published in September 10, 2008 suggests that the act of celebrity worship may be a boon to some people's self-esteem. Let me ask you a question. Ask all the little girls in high school that read all those magazines and don't eat because those people in those magazines don't look like that. Is that boosting their self-esteem? So, it goes on. Because people form bonds in their minds with their favorite celebrities, they are able to assimilate the celebrity's characteristics in themselves and feel better about themselves when they think of the celebrity.
이런 겁니다. 힙합을 좋아하는 가수는, 그 힙합 가수를 좋아하는 사람, 청소년들은요, 똑같이 옷을 입습니다. 바지 짧게 입고 머리 스타일하고 껌짝짝 씹으면서 막 Hey man! 이럽니다. 여러분, 그게 죄송하지만 귀신에게 빙의 되는 겁니다. 여러분, 우리는 빙의를요, 이걸 빙의라고 생각하는데요. 빙의는 그런 게 아닙니다. 빙의는요, 정말 현실적입니다. 내가 그 스타와 똑같이 따라하고 싶어 하고, 그 스타를 하는 말들은 뭐든지 다 내가 믿어버리고, 야, 저 스타가, 야, 김연아가 광고에 나왔어. 막, 여러분, 이게 빙의 되는 겁니다. 아셔야 됩니다. 영적인 원리를 아셔야 됩니다. 무서운 겁니다.
Says Gabriel, one of the scientists that did this study. So, They're basically telling you, hey, look, if you worship a celebrity, you can take on their characteristics as part of yourself. This is what they've actually gone by, and they I think, had 1,000 people that they followed around and studied this whole thing across America. This whole article is absolutely fascinating. I wish I could just read it all to you. There is a growing body of evidence that suggests that the human brain is not well equipped to distinguish between real relationships. As
자, 이런 건
psychologists
제가 여러 번 설명했죠. 여러분 이걸로 컵을 실제로 이렇게 내가 이 컵을 만집니다. 그러는데 뇌가 이 컵을 만진다는 감각 기관이 있어가지고 뇌가 활성화가 됩니다. 그런데 연구 결과 컵을 만지지 않고요. 머리에다가 그걸 딱 이거 시스템을 다 부착하고 내가 컵을 만지다는 상상만 합니다. 그런데 놀랍게도요. 뇌는요. 상상만 했을 뿐인데 실질적으로 내가 이 컵을 만지는 것과 똑같은 뇌파 반응을 일으킵니다. 우리 뇌는요. 상상과 현실을 구분하지 못합니다. 그래서 영화에서 막 잔인하게 막 자르고 찌르고 죽이고 막 그러는 것을 우리가 보면요. 우리가 실질적으로 머릿속으로 우리 뇌는 그런 것을 경험하는 것 같은 고통을 당하게 됩니다. 비행이 되는 겁니다.
call them parasocial or imagined ones. That means that some of the benefits people get from pseudo relationships with celebrities may be the same as those reaped from real relationships and real life interactions. It's okay to get caught up in the Paralympian mania if her example makes you feel better about your chaotic life or of juggling work and family. As long as you realize that she won't be there to talk to you through your next family crisis. Isn't it just like Satan to set up a system of false worship?
참 그래서 여러분 우리나라의 불륜이 이렇게 판을 치는 겁니다. 그래서 거듭 말씀드렸지만 남편들 출근을 하면 아내들 TV 봅니다. TV 보면 아침 드라마부터 시작해가지고 계속 하루 종일 불륜만 나옵니다. 그냥 TV로 재밌게 봅니다. 근데 머릿속에는요, 내가 실제 불륜하는 걸로 뇌가 인지해버립니다. 그래서 실제로 내가 불륜에 가까운 어떤 조건이 성경되는 사람이 남자들에서 나타나면요, 내가 이미 그것을 반복적으로 숙달을 했기 때문에 나도 모르게 내 행동이 불륜으로 가는 겁니다. 뇌과학에서 영역입니다. 제가 NLP라는 걸 강의를 하면서요, 제가 그거에 대해서 이렇게 규명했던 적이 있습니다. 실제로 그렇습니다. 내가 불륜 드라마를 많이 보면 많이 볼수록 결과적으로 실질적으로 불륜으로 나아가는 통계가 확률이 훨씬 높습니다. 훨씬 높습니다. 뇌가 이미 그렇게 인지를 해버렸기 때문에 너무나 아무렇지 않게 내가 여러 번 상상 속으로 불륜을 저질렀기 때문에 다른 사람이 불륜을 저질렀지만 그게 나로 인정하는 거예요. 뇌는요, 저 사람인지 난지를 모릅니다. 저 배우가 불륜을 했는지 내가 불륜을 했는지 뇌는 구분을 못합니다. 그냥 뇌가 하는 것과 똑같이 인지를 해버립니다. 무서운 겁니다. 진짜 무서운 겁니다.
That when you go through a family crisis, you think they're going to help you? No. And since the beginning of time, that Satan and his angels have gotten man to worship stupid little wooden idols, all of a sudden now he says, you know what's better than a wooden idol? Let's make those wooden idols into people. People make a lot better gods than wooden idols do. And so this idea of worshiping something other than God has just now changed, and they've attached it onto people. Michael Jackson. The media attention for Michael Jackson's funeral tops the Pope, a president, and a princess. The Pope that he's talking about is Pope John that just died. The president that he's talking about is Ronald Reagan. And the princess is Princess Diana. More people read and heard and seen about this than all of those. Isn't that amazing? I find that amazing. I was at the post office the other day when Michael Jackson's funeral was on, and there was a woman behind me that was just on the phone with her husband at home going, tell me, is it an open casket? What's going on? Who's there? Who's there? And I'm just listening to this woman go through a play-by-play action of what's going on, and she probably has never ever met them in my life. It was absolutely fascinating. So I took a picture of Tom and Brandon today at the supermarket. All these Michael Jackson covers of all the magazines. Just go through the grocery store and look it on the line, and you can start to see, man, he was highly worshipped. Even though he had issues with child molestation and all these other things, now they've immortalized the guy. How is it that these actors and actresses are so electrifying? How is it that they gain such a grip on you? You ever sat and thought and wondered that?
Why are so many of Hollywood's most famous actors and actresses able to be so amazingly effective and convincing in their performances?
That guy was so electrified that it came through the television.
How is it that they can move us to laughter and
자, 이제 본격적으로 지옥과 관련된 영상들일 겁니다. 이 배경 지식을 잘 알아야지 제가 이따가 설명할 때 고개가 끄덕여집니다. 잘 보세요.
anger at the drop of a hat? Are they truly gifted with natural talent, as many suggest?
You see this news, you're dazzled by their talent.
Do they possess a creative streak of genius that is unknown to most men? Or unknown to most men, are they in fact possessed? Is it possible that these actors and actresses are possessed by demonic spirits who have a specific agenda to fulfill? Oscar award-winning actor Denzel Washington told 60 Minutes exactly how he brings forth his best performances.
Basically, what I did was got on my knees and sort of communicated with the spirits. And when I came out, I was in charge.
Powerful scene.
Powerful scene. I couldn't have acted that. I couldn't have written that down and made a decision to play that.
What, you can smoke that?
Nope, you are.
덴젤 워싱턴이 뭐라고 합니까? 자기는 귀신에게 힘을 받아서 영들과 교통해서 사람들이 감동할 수 있는 그런 뛰어난 연기력을 낼 수 있었다고 합니다. 배우들이 누구와 교감하는 겁니까? 하나님이겠습니까? 귀신이죠. 귀신이 그에게 영감을 주는 겁니다.
Hell if I am. Yeah, Jesus is great. Yeah, Jesus is great.
The one-woman entertainment empire known as Oprah has strong affiliations with the demonic realm. The most familiar face on television says,
You can not only use your body and physical self. This is how I see acting. I ask my body to be the carrier for the spirits of those who have come before me in a way that is most meaningful to the character.
성경이 접신하면 어떻게 하라고 그랬습니까? 돌로 쳐 죽여버리라고 했습니다. 근데 아주 유명한 여자죠. 오프라 윈프리. 다른 영과 접신해야지 된답니다. 그래야지만 최고의 연기를 할 수 있다고 합니다.
Just become the vehicle for that character.
calling out for these entities to take her over so that she may become a sparkling puppet, Oprah admits of her work before the camera.
I tried to empty myself and let the spirit inhabit me.
With her global influence, her shows have been...
오늘 이 교회에 제가 아는 누가 있습니다. 목사님인데요. 강의하는데 오프라 윈프리를 너무나 극찬하는 걸 제가 봤습니다. 너무나 무시한 겁니다. 너무나 무시한 겁니다.
become a smorgasbord for the New Age agenda.
A lot of actors who don't mention their names, of course, are very...
중요합니다. 모든 배우가 이런 식으로 연기한답니다. 모든 배우가 귀신과 접신해서 영감받아서 연기를 한답니다.
Magic only exists if you allow it, if you open yourself up to the possibility.
And here, like Denzel Washington says, wow, I got down on my hands and knees and I prayed to the Spirit, and when I got up, I was in charge. I couldn't have written that down. When I took acting classes, they taught me, you need to live, breathe, eat, sleep, acting, and you become that character. You invite that character into you. This is a very, very interesting world that these actors and actresses have involved themselves into. There's a man named Aleister Crowley. He is known as the most evil man of the 20th century. If you peel back the layers of most music and movies, he is hugely influential.
나옵니다. 자,
He is known as the most evil
중요합니다.
man of the 20th century. If you peel back the
거의 대부분의 음악과 영화의 껍질들을 벗겨내면
layers of
그러면
most music and movies, he is hugely
작가들과 배우들에게 엄청난 영향력을 발휘하고 있고
influential into writers and actors, and he was highly involved in the
근데 그는 오컬트에 깊게 관여하고 있다. 자, 모든 영화 그리고 모든 음악들을 이상에 창조해서 사람들에게 즐기게 하는데 거기에 강력한 영향력을 주는 어떤 사람이 있는데 그 사람이요 오컬트에 굉장히 깊이 심취해 있답니다. 다시 말해서 그가 어떤 영으로부터 영감을 받아서 그 받은 영감을 갖고 줘가지고 그것이 만들어져서 영화되고 음악화되고 미술화되고 문화화돼서 사람들에게 쏟아진다는 겁니다. 즉 누가 준 겁니까? 루시퍼가 준 겁니다. 그 왜 중요한지.
He was known as like this horrible, like satanic priest. The BBC did a wonderful documentary on this guy, if you ever want to see it. And it's not a Christian perspective. They call it The Most Evil Man. And you can watch it on YouTube. It's absolutely phenomenal what this guy was into. He wrote a book called Magic and Practice and Theory, where he outlined one of the best ways to become possessed by a demonic spirit. There are 3 main methods for invoking any deity. The third method is the dramatic, perhaps the most attractive of all. Certainly it is to the artist's temperament, for it appeals to his imagination through his aesthetic sense. So he's saying if you want to become possessed, acting is a great way to possess yourself with a different spirit, is what he's saying. Here's what Socrates has to say on acting. In like manner, the muse, first of all, inspires men herself. The muse is the spirit, if you will, that inspires you to be an actor. Because they are inspired and possessed. They are simply inspired to utter that which the muse impels them. For not by art or by knowledge do you say what you say, but by possession. Now, I find what he has to say actually has, in a sense, a weird sense, a lot of spiritual truth to it. Think back on the time that Christ cast out the demon. And what did the demon do? He went away from the house, and he came back to check on the house, and when he found that it was completely clean and in order, but nobody was home, he went out and he grabbed 7 more unclean spirits and came in and possessed his house. Right? So, thinking along those lines, is it possible that you are either possessed by the Spirit of God or by the spirit of Satan? Is it possible, looking at it from a biblical perspective, that if you're not possessed by God, you can have an unclean spirit come into you and bring 7 demons, and they're not knocking on your door asking if they can come in?
저는 이 영상을 보기 전에 여러분 지지난주에 설교를 했습니다. 근데 제가 했던 그 설교가 그대로 나옵니다. 여러분이 뭐라고 말씀드렸습니까? 여러분이 말씀과 기도를 채우지 않으면 다른 게 들어온다. 그러므로 계속 다른 게 들어오지 못하도록 말씀과 기도를 채워야 된다고 그랬죠? 똑같이 얘기하고 있습니다. 같은 성령께서 우리에게 말씀을 주신 겁니다. 이분에게도 그 말씀을 주시고 저에게도 말씀을 주시고 동일한 영이 여러분 말씀을 주신 겁니다. 따라서 기도와 말씀이 아니면요, 여러분 진짜 여러분 이 세상을 버텨낼 수 없습니다. 미친 듯이 기도와 말씀을 하셔야 됩니다.
So let's go through a little bit of movie history here. I'm going to bring you way back to the 1920s here with Rudolph Valentino. Anybody heard of this guy? Yeah, this guy was so famous. This guy was the Brad Pitt of his day. Women flocked to this guy. He was this passionate guy that all of his movies were about getting the girl and making out with them, and he was so famous that wherever he went, there was huge crowds that would gather. They actually had to have police follow the guy around. And it was said that when he would smoke his cigarettes and throw them on the ground, people would dogpile the cigarettes and try to pick them up and bring them home and have a little shrine to them or something. This guy was hugely worshipped, okay? Most of his movies came from his wife here, Natasha. They would actually write together. And this is
이거 되게 중요합니다. 보세요. 이 부분 되게 중요합니다.
coming from a book that is all written about Natasha, his wife. Every night, Valentino's wife Natasha would hold a seance, calling forth help from the spirit world in her creative undertaking. And then with pencil and paper in hand, she would go into a trance and start writing. It's called automated writing in the occult world.
이해가 됩니까? 이 남자가 굉장히 큰 숭배를 받았는데요. 그 숭배를 받을 수 있는데 1등 공신이 누구냐? 자기 아내 나타샤라는 겁니다. 나타샤가 이 사람의 작품들에 대해서 글을 써줬는데 이 순수하게 글을 써준 게 아니고 이 나타샤가 뭘 했냐면 귀신을 불러들이는 접신 행위를 한 겁니다. 그리고는 가만히 있으면요, 영의 접신을 받아가지고는요, 대본을 막 써 제끼는 겁니다. 귀신이 내 팔을 완전히 지배해가지고, 내 생각이 아니고, 사람의 생각이 아니고, 귀신의 생각을 줘가지고 막 쓰겠다는 겁니다, 이렇게. 이게 오토메이팅입니다. 그래서 이 대본을 갖고 이 사람이 연기했더니, 그렇게 사람들의 혼을 쏙 빼놓고, 사람들의 정신세계를 완전히 뒤흔드는 그런 강력한 영향력을 낼 수 있었다는 겁니다. 이게 왜 중요한지, 왜 지옥과 연결되는지 여러분 제발 놓치지 마시고 거듭해서 방조합니다. 이 지옥과 너무나 직접적으로 연관되어 있습니다. 아시고 계속 봅시다.
After her outpourings were typed up, they were brought to the set the very next day and given to the director. And this is actually what they would make. So if you watch Valentino's movies, this is where they're coming from. She would have these seances, get possessed, right, and then she'd go give them to the director.
자, 이게 1925년도입니다. 1925년이면 이제 산고의 진통이 아직 시작되지 않았을 때입니다. 그때도 이런 일이 있었습니다. 그런데 지금 2013년입니다. 산고의 고통이 끝을 달리고 있습니다. 그렇다면 지금 만들어지고 창조되는 영화와 음악과 문화들은 어느 정도일까요?
Almost overnight, you see, America was built on very deep religious moral values. Overnight, what was considered sinful, sex outside of a marriage, was now starting to be redefined as popular, trendy, and even like exciting. Then Mae West hits the scene. And once again, America is still very deep into religious morality. So here's what Mae West has to contribute.
1930s, motion pictures were one of the mainstays of the Great Depression, and attendance to movie theaters skyrocketed. Movie star Mae West was also known as the Queen of Sex and the Statue of Libido. Her work helped to topple the biblical sexual boundaries that were deeply embedded in the people of the early 20th century.
She could have a romance with somebody outside of wedlock.
I've got another man in my life.
It was pretty raw.
I don't know how many that makes.
It was pretty raunchy for that era.
When I'm good, I'm very good. So when I'm bad, I'm better.
No star had greater impact in the long run than Mae West. Mae West was a one-woman sexual revolution.
A one-woman sexual revolution was what she got stamped with. This one woman started to completely change the way that Americans were starting to view sex in their relationship between a man and a woman. She was hugely involved into the occult world. Her psychic, Kenny Kingston, reflects on her life in a documentary that Kenny Kingston openly admits when she was upset and had been able to come up with a script idea. She walked about her room saying, "Forces, forces, please come and help me write a script." She would begin to hear voices and images as the plot was revealed to her. Once again, automated writing. Mae would summon stenographers to work with her around the clock, and she would lie in bed in a trance-like state, dictating as the spirits entered her. And if you really think about Mae West's movies, it doesn't take very much stretch to understand I'm No Angel, the sensational Mae West. You know, these are obviously speaking of biblical things, but starting to break them down. Marilyn Monroe hits the scene a little bit later. Once again, pushing those boundaries farther and farther down the road of how we view sex and the relationships. And here's what Marilyn has to contribute.
7-Year Itch blew the lid off 1950s conservatism.
Hey, wait a minute!
It shocked audiences with its irreverent look at marital infidelity.
I mean, you wouldn't be lying on the floor and you literally like someone to come and drink champagne if he wasn't married.
아까도 말씀드렸지만 우리의 뇌는요, 마릴린 먼로가 영화에서 불륜 바람을 피는 건지 내가 바람을 피는 건지를 구분하지 않습니다. 우리의 뇌는 그렇습니다. 마릴린 monroe가 바람 피는 것을 보면서 똑같이 나는 내용이 내가 바람을 피는 걸로 내 뇌는 인지를 해버립니다. 무서운 겁니다.
He showcased Marilyn Monroe in her most sexually suggestive role to date.
Let me just go put something on. I'll go into the kitchen and get dressed.
The kitchen?
Yes, when it's hot like this, you know what I do? I keep my onions in the icebox.
She was the sexual icon of her particular time and became, I think, the sex star of the century.
She could make you do anything in the world from that big screen.
Then what has Marilyn Monroe got that a million other women have but prefer not to show?
Pretty vulgar, Nancy.
I have a message for your wife.
You can see those early signs of changing values.
I'd like to stay here with you tonight. I'd like to sleep here.
I think it's very nice, but I'd rather it for me.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, thanks for that.
Monroe attributed her ability to affect the public to other entities that would inhabit her and take her over. She was known for entering into deep trances before each scene. One of Monroe's close personal psychics recalled how she would draw attention from the spirit world, asking for their guidance.
When she saw a camera, any camera, she lit up, and it was totally different. The moment the shot was over, she fell back into her.
그러니까 카메라 앞에서 연극을 펼치는요, 귀신이 들어와가지고 귀신이 접신해서 굉장히 잘하게 하고 나서는 빠져나가서 본래 그 괴로움이 이렇게 지배하게 되는 겁니다. 아, 무서운 겁니다.
Very interesting position. And I don't know how to explain that.
Isn't it interesting that Mr. Hugh Hefner, filthy Mr. Hugh Hefner himself, says, look at her. She's starting to unlock the morals and values. The value system. You're starting to see a trend here. And you're starting to see how they're just unlocking one step farther these sexual boundaries. And if you look at where our movies are today, it doesn't take a very hard look at it to go, wow. I mean, these movies were just child's play compared to what we have now. Here's what she says she was quoted saying, Jacqueline Hyde, more than two. I'm so many people, sometimes they shock me. I wish it was just me. If you've seen any documentaries of her, she lived a tortured life, constantly just hearing voices in her head and things like that. And if you look at some of her movies, it doesn't take very much dedicated to the new Monroe Doctrine. Don't bother to knock, a wicked sensation of the girl in room 809. Where are these movie ideas coming from? What are these channels telling these actors and actresses to get involved in? And if you look at today, Original Sin, I mean, these movies are just commonplace. Zack and Miri make a porno. Even though that's like a funny movie, I mean, look at the content that they're making. Sex drive. This is all about losing your virginity, and right here it says he's leaving virgin territory. Force throwing it away. Why? Why are they attacking our sexuality? Does anybody want to answer that? I'll tell you why. Because your sexuality and your spirituality are very much so intertwined. If they mess up your sexuality, chances are they're messing up your spirituality. Christ was constantly referring to the church as his bride, as a relationship between us, because that relationship is how we understand. The relationship between a man and a woman is how you understand the love of God between us. And so if Satan can mess that love up, and all of a sudden now you cannot understand what human love is like, how are you to ever understand what the love of God is like? American Pie was a popular movie when I was in high school. I'm sure even some of the young kids in this room have never even heard of this movie. But it was all about losing your virginity and how, like, you know, you just needed to get rid of it as fast as possible. And of course, the little caption at the bottom says there's something about your first piece. Now, here is a news clip of the news people going around and asking some kids that went to the theater and saw this movie and are going to talk about what their favorite part is.
History that Hollywood peddles adult material to children. Now let's see how this spoon-fed material has affected them.
You've heard one insider describe how the Hollywood machine marketed his R-rated movie to an audience too young to go see it.
What movie should you see?
American Pie. I saw American Pie.
American Pie too. American Pie.
American Pie.
I'm 15.
14.
15. 13.
12. 13.
Who wants me to touch Amber?
Oh, yeah!
I love lesbians. They're great.
Two girls are lesbians.
The lesbian scene. That's hilarious.
How aware are children of the corrosive influences? And they seem to pick up everything like sponges.
It's like Play-Doh. Put a piece of Play-Doh on the table and it picks up everything. Kids are Play-Doh. They don't even know what they picked up.
Parents out there, 12 and 13 years old, do you think that they honestly understand what sexuality is? And what it was meant for? And what the biblical boundaries of it are? And what happens when you start to unlock those things and take those out? These poor children have no chance. No chance. And they're being targeted. I guarantee you these types of movies are not aimed at 30-something. Look at what they're aimed at. And this is just one example. This is just one genre of films. But you can start to understand that, listen, if you are not in the Word of God reading about these things and teaching your children or teaching those kids about what is sexuality and things like this, I guarantee you they're learning a lot from these types of movies. What lesbians are and what not, what have you. I Love Lucy. What could possibly be wrong with I Love Lucy? I love this show. Loved, I should say loved. I watched every single episode. My brother and I, we used to sit down and watch these. I still chuckle when I see this. But I want to show you something that they're doing in a very subtle and slight way. Remember, Satan's got time. He has time on his hands to simply unlock our moral values, and he can do it very slowly. We don't have the time. He's got the time. Do you remember what one of her most infamous lines was?
I'll tell him the truth. Don't you dare!
What was she constantly telling him to do, to her to do? To lie. And the show was all about a manipulative woman that constantly lied to her friends and families and everybody else around them, all wrapped in laughter. So you watch these kind of things, your guard goes down, and what's a little white lie? Remember, during this time, this may not be detrimental to you, but you unlock that generation, then you unlock one more generation, and you keep going until we are today. Now we have movies that are all about lying and all sorts of things. At this time, Lucille Ball was a very famous big screen actress. It was known as career suicide to go to the little screen. And Lucille Ball actually chose to go to the little screen because of this actress, Carole Lombard, okay? Carole Lombard, it was the spirit of the actress Carole Lombard who guided Lucille Ball into taking a chance on television and accepting the offer to star in I Love Lucy. The glamorous comedian who had died in an airplane crash of 1942 appeared to Lucy in 1951. And what do we know about the state of the dead? So if spirits are appearing to her and telling her, hey, you should pick this, you gotta start to wonder. Because Lucille Ball accepted the spirit's urging to take a chance, honey, she made television history. The Pink Panther. Peter Sellers was an out-of-work actor, completely could not book a part for his life. And then he started messing around with the spirit world.
Peter was absolutely brilliant on first take.
Peter Sellers was a struggling actor whose career was on the rocks until he embraced demonic power. After selling his soul, he became the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
The second take was even better.
With 3 new Pink Panther adventures, all of which attained colossal box office success. Sellers, the has-been, was once again one of the world's highest paid performers.
And listen, Patty, you still being here too? Among other things, yes.
So here's what Peter Sellers has to say about acting. It's rather like being a medium and laying yourself wide open and saying, I want a character to inhabit my body, or I want a spirit to take charge of me so that I can produce what I hope to produce. He was very much so open about his invoking spirits into his life and helping him. In fact, there's a whole documentary that says he was a very disturbed man, and it's quite a fascinating documentary. Robin Williams came out in Us Weekly magazine, and somebody asked him, how are you such a brilliant actor? Here's what he answers. Yeah, literally, it's like possession. All of a sudden, you're in. You get all this energy, and it just starts going. But there's also that thing. It is possession. In the olden days, you'd be burned for it. But there's something...
우리는 보통 귀신이 들린다라고 하면 뭡니까? 아까도 말했지만 눈 까디짓고 막 돼지꼬리 돌리고 막 머리 꽃 달고 막 이게 귀신 들린 거잖아요. 아닙니다, 여러분. 진짜 무서운 귀신 들리면요, 광명의 천사처럼 여러분 앞에 있습니다. 죄송하지만 영화, TV 이런 걸 볼 때요, 보세요. 로빈 윌리엄스 영화 저 많이 봤습니다. 굿윌 헌팅 이런 영화는요 정말 수작입니다. 근데 그게 지금 뭐라고 말합니까? 귀신이 하는 걸 우리가 보고 즐겼던 겁니다. 귀신 들렸던 사람들 굉장히 멋지게 연기했어요. 근데 그 사람이 귀신 들렸던 겁니다. 여러분, 김연아 씨 정지동작 보면 얼마나 섬뜩한 줄 아세요? 정지동작으로 완전 귀신도 그런 귀신의 눈빛이 아닙니다. 샥 이렇게 하는데 얘가 귀신 들려서 그런 겁니다. 우리는 귀신 들리면 막 미친 것처럼 생각하는데요, 아닙니다. 정말 고단수는요, 우리가 볼 때 정말 잘하는 거, 정말 멋지게 해내는 거, 각 분야에서 귀신 들린 것일 가능성이 대단히 높습니다. 아주 높습니다.
Empowering about it. I mean, it's a place where you are totally, it is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where you can really become this other force. It's an interesting thing to come out and say out into the open. Keanu Reeves is a very complex guy with lots of demons in him. I was trying to tap into him and utilize that, says director Taylor Hackford from The Devil's Advocate.
남자 감독하고 결혼했습니다. 키아누 리브스, 동성연애자입니다.
Here's what director Anise Phil Holland of Total Eclipse says about Leonardo DiCaprio. Leo is like a medium. He opens his body and his mind to receive messages coming from another person's life. Here's what a completely different director says about him, director Baz Luhrmann from Romeo and Juliet. With Leo, you might see 30 people come out of him in a day.
무슨 말입니까? 레오나르도 디카프리오는 약 30명의 영이 지배하고 있는 겁니다. 약 30개의 영이. 아, 불쌍한 영혼입니다.
Here's what Johnny Depp tells Us Magazine. I know I have demons. I'm 30 different people sometimes. And in fact, I just found this in the Los Angeles Times. Heath's creepy performance seems to...
이 사람 연기 보면요, 정말 오싹합니다. 따라갈 수가 없습니다. 장난 아니거든요. 근데 그게 악령의 것이었습니다. 정말 오싹합니다.
To have summoned up demons that no one thought have imaginable or accessible to him. Imagine that they were accessible to him. So here, in Los Angeles Times, not even saying anything about religion and everything. It's just saying, man, we didn't even think somebody could drum up those kind of demons. It's an interesting statement.
And also, I love the script. I love the whole idea of selling your soul to the devil. Kind of like, it's very intriguing to me.
Do you think that they consider the words that come out of their mouths? I mean, is this a joke? Are we here on this planet as a joke? Do you think that God is looking down on us going, oh man, they're just playing things where they, go out and sell their soul to the devil, but it's just a movie, just make believe. This is very real to them, and yet these actors and actresses just act like this is an everyday thing. The Watchmen was just came out. It was a very popular movie with the younger people. Anybody heard of this movie, Watchmen? Any superheroes? These are all superhero comic books. There's a guy named Alan Moore, who is a very famous comic book writer from England. Okay, he just came out with this movie, The Watchmen. Most of his movies are hugely Gnostic, occultic, like very weird, strange things about them and everything. He's written a Superman here. He wrote a movie called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where Sean Connery played in that movie. Swamp Thing from Hell, that was a Johnny Depp movie. V for Vendetta, that was a popular film that just came out not too long ago.
V for Vendetta 우리 회복기 카페에 올랐었죠. 뉴월드 오더가 앞으로 향해 무슨 일을 할 건지에 대해서 암시해 놓은 영화입니다. V for Vendetta. 그러니까 악령의 힘과 그리고 뉴월드 오더가 쏟아내는 그 암시가 연결되어 있다는 것을 증명하는 겁니다.
Well, anyway, here is a clip of Alan Moore talking about he is
자,
very
또 지옥과 연관됩니다. 보세요.
of demons, and in fact, he said that his deep
보셨습니까? 이 사람이 쏟아내는 그 많은 영화들이 다 뭐로부터 영감을 받냐? 악령들이 그의 영화를 만들 수 있게 힘을 준다는 겁니다. 다시 말해서 누가 만드는 거야, 솔직히? 이 사람은 그냥 매개체입니다. 알렌 모어는 그냥 매개체입니다, 그냥. 실질적으로 누가 그 영화를 만드는 거예요? 귀신이 만드는 거예요. 지금 우리가 보는 대부분의 영화들이요, 죄송하지만 감독이 만드는 것 같지만요, 실질적으로 귀신이 만드는 거예요. 악마를 보았다 같은 거. 귀신이 만드는 거예요. 그게 지옥과 어떻게 연관되는지 뒤에 가시면 소름 끼칠 겁니다.
demons is what actually propelled his career, and he follows this god called Glycon, and he'll tell you all about it.
Alan Moore is a writer and magician from Northampton. He's a stranger to hairdressers and worships his very own god in his very own way, blurring the lines between religious belief, magic, and the power of the creative imagination. Alan's familiar on his journey of faith and worship is an ancient Roman glove puppet snake called Glycon. So how did you first go about worshipping Glycon? What's...
자, 글라이콘이 뭡니까? 뱀입니다, 뱀. 뱀이 누굽니까? 옛뱀, 곧 마귀라고 하는 사단 루시퍼입니다. 이 사람이 루시퍼를 숭배한 겁니다. 루시퍼를 숭배하는데 그런 영화들을 그 기괴한 영화들을 쏟아내죠. 영화 누가 만든 겁니까? 루시퍼가 만든 겁니다.
Form does the worship take?
Well, it's irresistible. He's certainly the coolest, most rock and roll looking god that I've ever seen. I just fell in love at first sight.
What's in it for you, though, following Glycon?
I believe that every single individual human being should probably make their own peace with the universe. I mean, we're all of us different emotionally, we're all different physically, intellectually. It would be really odd if we were all the same spiritually. So, I mean, that's why I have a problem with religion, per se, because religion, the very word, it comes from the same root word as ligature and ligament, and it means to be bound together in one belief, which I find a bit creepy and a bit unnatural.
You can't have that conversation with a Christian fundamentalist.
I mean, religious fundamentalism, I mean, it's a bit of a misnomer, because if you actually look back at the foundations of Christianity, you find that the thinking is a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
The kind of what we call fundamentalism these days is basically entirely based upon 1930s tent show revivalism.
Right.
It goes back no further than about 80 years. And yet it's a very frightening and dangerous mindset, because, I mean, as far as I understand it, at the moment, there are genuine worries that...
자, 이 사람이 하는 말은 누구의 말입니까? 루시퍼의 말이죠. 근데 루시퍼가 지금 뭐라고 합니까? 기독교가 넌센스랍니다. 그리고 기독교는 두려운 거랍니다. 별로 좋지 않다는 겁니다. 루시퍼는요, 진짜 기독교를 싫어합니다. 진짜 기독교인들을 루시퍼는 두려워합니다.
But certainly in America, that this could actually negate science, that it could drag us back into...
기독교가 과학을 뒤엎고 우리를 새로운 암흑 시대로 끌고 갈 수 있다고 얘기합니다. 루시퍼가 이렇게 얘기하는 겁니다. 기독교는, 진짜 기독교는 나의 세상을, 루시퍼의 세상을 뒤엎어버리는 것 같아. 그렇게 지금 생각하는 겁니다.
Here, he is saying religion is possibly going to negate science. And I just showed you an article in the beginning of this, a scientific article about worshiping celebrities. So, if that's kind of where science is leading me, I don't know about that. I would rather trust in this science, in God. And, you know, as for those of you that were here in the first couple of days, that Tom showed you exactly what is going on inside your brain. As you are sitting there staring at a blinking light source, you realize you are in your optimum amount of suggestibility. They know this, they've done studies on this, they can scientifically prove to you that they can tell you things in this dark room, and you will actually soak them in and believe them and walk away with that. I mean, even that scientific article was saying, look, if you worship celebrities, you take on their characteristics. So here, somebody who actually believes that religion and 1930s tent revivalism, where they're baptizing people, is dangerous, do you really want to sit in a dark room and open up your mind to this person's thoughts? When he talked about invoking these spirits that helped his career, this is what he said: I decided that I was going to be a magician, and all of a sudden a lightning bolt hit. It got a bit strange. And for months after that, I was looking back, probably in some sort of borderline schizophrenic state. I found myself seemingly in conversation with an entity, its presence that surrounded my head and moving and speaking lucidly to me. I was very spaced out, God-struck. You know, you babble for a while like an idiot, but I must have been unbearable for about 2 or 3 months. I've integrated that into the rest of my life. He integrates spirit invoking into the rest of his work and the rest of his life. So the point that I'm trying to bring out with this is you as a viewer, you only see the surface area. You don't see what actually goes on behind this. Who are these people? What are their actual beliefs? If you are going to watch these, which I hope after these presentations you will take a serious look at this and decide that you don't want to watch any of these, but know who you're watching. Know what they believe. Because like every piece of art, the art is meant to change you. That's what art is. It's to change the viewer. Anton LaVey, the guy that started the Church of Satan, actually built the Church of Satan off of the writings of Aleister Crowley. Won't go into all that, but Anton LaVey was the tippy-top guy of the Church of Satan. Okay, this is what he says about the television. The television is the mainstream infiltration for the new satanic religion. The TV set, or satanic family altar, as this guy likes to call it, has grown more elaborate since the early 50s, from tiny fuzzy little screens into huge entertainment centers covering entire walls with several monitors. What started as an innocent respite from everyday life has now become in itself a replacement for real life for millions, a major religion of the masses. This is coming from the Church of Satan. So if
사단교에서 지금 뭐라고 말한 겁니까? TV가 뭐라고 말한 겁니까? TV가 우리의 성경이다라고 말한 겁니다. 사단교에서 텔레비전은 우리의 성경이다라고 얘기하는 겁니다. 사단교에서 말하는 성경에 빠져서 심취하면서 천국을 갈 수 있을 거라고 생각하십니까? 그게 가능하다고 생각하십니까? 사단교에서 배포한 성경책을 탐독하면서 주야장창 그것을 읽고 묵상하면서 천국에 갈 수 있을 거라고 생각하십니까? 꿈 깨십시오. TV 보면요, 지옥 갈 수 있습니다. 장난이 아닙니다.
He's openly admitting that this is a major religion of the masses. We as Christians, or even people that maybe are out there that are contemplating all these things for a reason, or wondering about all these things, know that the dark side is openly admitting this thing, we designed it. This is part of the satanic new infiltration.
오케이, 여기까지 봅니다. 불을 켜주시고요. 자, 정리합시다. 우리는 지금 무엇을 증명했습니까? 영화, 텔레비전, 이런 것들이 그냥 어떤 인간의 힘에 의해서 제작되지 않는다는 것을 우리는 지금 증명해냈습니다. 뭔가 보이지 않는 세력에 의해서 우리가 보는 영화들이 만들어졌다라는 것이 이제 그 논리적으로, 합리적으로, 객관적으로 이제 증명이 됐죠. 자, 그러면 이제 이거는 뭘까요? 누가 만들었을까요? 그 논리를 그대로 대비하세요. 루시퍼가 만든 겁니다. 네. 사람이 분쇄기에 들어가 사람을 분쇄기에 집어넣습니다. 이거 사람이 만든 건가요? 누가 영감을 줘서 만든 겁니다. 누가 만들어서 귀신이 만든 겁니다. 귀신이 이렇게 만든 겁니다. 자, 보세요. 사람의 똥구멍부터 해가지고 입으로 껴버렸습니다. 꼬치 끼듯이. 다리를 자릅니다. 톱으로. 다 영화입니다. 영화. 벤치로 이빨 뽑는 겁니다. 이게 뭐냐면요. 사람의 머리를 드릴로 뜯어가지고요. 빨대로 뽑아서 피를 뽑아 먹는 겁니다. 사람을 다 조각조각 다 내버리는 겁니다. 전기톱으로. 자, 이 영화입니다. 영화. 이것을 그냥 여러분들에게 보여드리면서 제가 강연을 한다면, 사단이 만든 거다라고 한다면 아마 씨알이 안 먹힐지도 모르겠습니다. 그러나 그 앞에 있는 영상들에서 그 수많은 사람들에 의해서 증명이 됐습니다. 뭐냐? 만드는 영화는 사람이 만든 게 아니고 귀신이, 루시퍼가 직접 만드는 거다라고 했습니다. 루시퍼가 이런 영화들을 만든 겁니다. 사람의 다리를 자르고 사람 뇌를 가위로 잘라가지고 피를 뽑아먹고 사람들 지금 토막 막 다 내버리고 루시퍼가 만든 겁니다. 자, 봅시다. 루시퍼가 하지 않는 일을 영감으로 줄까요? 자기가 하지 않아요. 자기는 어느 공간인지 모르겠지만 지옥에서 사람들을 막 이렇게 잘 보듬어주고 이거 너 착하다 이러면서 이 밖에 있는 사람들에게는 이런 영감들을 줄까요? 아까도 말씀드렸지만 이건 플라톤의 이데아입니다. 이데아. 여러분, 보이지 않는 본질이 있습니다. 그 보이지 않는 그 어떤 세상에서 무언가 이런 일들이 지금 쏟아지고 있는 겁니다. 그것의 일부가 현상세계로 표출돼가지고 나온 게 바로 영화입니다. 다시 말해서 보이지 않는 곳에는 우리가 지금 보는 이런 것들과는 비교가 안 되는, 이런 것들과는 비교가 안 되는 정말 엄청난 일들이 지금 어딘가에서 지금 벌어지고 있는 겁니다. 어떤 영적인 세계에서 이런 것들이 벌어지고 있는데 그 본질에서 약간 투영돼서 현실이 나타나는 것이 영화인데요. 그러므로 이 영화 뒤에 있는 그 진짜 거대한 본질에는요, 어마어마한 일들이, 어마어마한 사람이 잘려지고 뭐 뚫고 막 갈리고 이런 일들이 지금도 이 시간에도 지금 벌어지고 있다고 보셔야 됩니다. 그러셔야 됩니다. 아까도 말씀드렸지만 저는 지옥을 본 적이 없습니다. 지옥 간진 것도 이제 그런 거 뭐 귀담아 듣지도 않습니다. 그러나 팩트를 근거해서 과학적으로 지옥은, 여러분이 지옥에 가면 이런 고통들을, 다리가 잘리는 고통들을 세세토록, 영원 무궁토록 당하게 될 것이라는 겁니다. 영화만 그런 줄 아십니까? 만화 영화 볼까요? 괴물이요, 어떤 여자를 잡아가지고는요, 뚫어버립니다. 만화 영화입니다. 전기톱으로 목을 막 잘라버리고요. 이거 다 여러분 영감받아서 그린 겁니다. 지옥에서 귀신들이 하는 일입니다. 괴물이 사람 목을 뜯어가지고는요, 피를 뽑아먹습니다. 여러분, 초창기 지옥 간증은 저는 아직도 신뢰합니다. 거기에 루시퍼가 피를 받아가지고 귀신들이 먹는 장면이 나옵니다. 사람을 잡아서요, 뜯어서요, 먹습니다. 이 귀신이 누구를 모티브로 만들었을 것 같아요? 이 귀신이 누구를 모티브로 만들었을 것 같아요? 예, 괴물입니다. 귀신입니다. 그게 모티브입니다. 사람들을 꼬치캐듯이 꿰가지고요. 한 입에 다 집어넣어버립니다. 이건 게임인데요. 아이디라는 게임인데요. 이 사람이 그 뒤에 뭔가 이상한 괴물이 와가지고는요. 등을 뚫어버립니다. 그리고 심장을 빼버립니다. 게임입니다. 아이들이 심장 빼면서 웃고 있습니다. 이게 누구를 모티브로 만들었을까요, 이게? 예, 귀신입니다. 지옥 가면 귀신이 뒤에서 여러분의 등을 뚫어가지고요. 심장을 빼버립니다. 여러분의 장기를 다 갈라서요. 다 끄집어냅니다. 저거 아십니까? 너무 혐오스러우니까 여기까지만 볼게요. 저거 아십니까, 여러분? 인신매매하다가 사람 잡아가지고 장기 빼는 일 하다가 조폭이요. 돌아오면서 간증했던 내용이 있습니다. 기억나십니까? 기억나시는 분 손 한번 들어봅시다. 별로 없군요. 얘기를 해드리겠습니다. 이 조폭이 실제로 자기가 그 인터넷에 쓴 겁니다. 나는 조폭이었고 나는 사람을 잡아다가 심장을 빼고 간을 빼고 이렇게 해서 팔아먹던 그런 처죽일 놈이었습니다. 근데 어느 날 저희 어머니는 기독교인이었습니다. 어머니가 저를 위해서 기도를 많이 했던 걸로 나중에 알게 됐습니다. 제가 오늘 밤에 잠을 자는데 꿈을 꿨습니다. 제가 지옥에 갔습니다. 지옥에 갔는데 무엇을 봤냐? 내 동료들이 나처럼 사람을 잡아다가 장기를 빼고 심장을 빼는 사람들이 어떤 고통을 받는지를 제가 봤습니다. 생생하게 봤습니다. 귀신이 그를 딱 잡더니 반을 이렇게 뚝 쪼갠답니다. 그 사람을 뚝 쪼갠답니다. 그리고는 안에 있는 심장들을 다 끄집어내가지고는요, 껍데기치 발라가지고는요, 불 속에 집어넣는답니다. 그러면 그 사람은 그 채로 계속 고통을 당한답니다. 그리고는 갈고리 같은 걸로 귀신이 다시 그 사람 시체를, 뼈다귀를 딱 끊어가지고 빼니까요, 다시 원상복구된답니다. 그러면 귀신이 또 자른답니다. 또 안에 있는 장기 같은 거 다 뽑아낸답니다. 그리고 불 속에 또 집어넣는답니다. 그리고는 갈고리로 또 그걸 잡아가지고 또 뺍니다. 그러면 또 원상복구된답니다. 그러면 또 자른답니다. 이 고통을 계속 당한답니다. 이거를 보고는요, 꿈속에서 이거를 보고는요, 이 사람이 완전히 지진이 맞아버렸습니다. 정신이 완전히 뒤집어져가지고는요, 죽게로 나아갔습니다. 그러면 회심하면서 간증글을 썼습니다. 내가 그런 조폭이었고 내가 그런 일을 했습니다. 그러나 멈춰야 됩니다. 여러분이 갈 곳은, 여러분이 가서 지옥에 가게 되면 여러분이 한 것과 똑같은, 그외에는 몇 배나 되는 엄청난 고통들을 지옥에서 당하게 됩니다. 라고 하면서 인터넷에 글을 올렸습니다. 지옥이요? 애들 장난인 줄 아세요? 손톱 하나 바늘로 찔러보세요. 손톱 하나. 손가락 하나 바늘로 찔러보세요. 막 죽겠다고, 아파서 죽겠다고 난리를 칩니다. 근데 다 자릅니다. 다 자르고 불 속에 집어넣어서 태워버리고 안 끝납니다. 근데 너무나 기가 막힌 것은 그게 안 끝난다는 겁니다. 그 고통이. 한 번 죽고 끝나면 좋겠는데, 죄송하지만 다시 살아나서, 부활의 의미가 아닙니다. 육체가 다시 생겼어. 다시 그 고통을 또 당해야만 한답니다. 그게 지옥입니다. 우리가 주님을 정말로 이 모든 만물을 만드신 하나님 아버지를 우리가 제대로 섬기지 않으면, 그분을 인정하지 않으면, 마음대로 주님을 술주자로 바꿔가지고 정말 하나님께서 우리 정말 먼지와 같은 우리를 사랑하셔서 그분 자신을 주셨는데, 그럼에도 불구하고 예수님의 주자를 술주자로 바꿔서 기롱하고 희롱하고, 한 번 군 영원한 군 있다고 소리나 하면서 그냥 천국 얘기하고, 그렇게 평생을 살다 죽은 사람들에게 임할 심판은 영원한 절망입니다. 영원한 고통입니다. 주님이 이곳을 가지 말라고, 이곳에 가지 말라고 십자가에 달리신 겁니다. 여러분, 지옥을 여러분들에게 증명해 드렸습니다. 제가 여러분들에게 지옥을 증명한 이유 중에 하나는요, 이겁니다. 이제 대환란을 준비하십시오. 우리 중에 얼마나 휴가 될지 모르겠습니다. 자신하지 마십시오. 그러나 남겨지더라도 이걸 기억하세요. 여러분이 베리침 맞고 지옥 가면, 짐승의 표 맞고 지옥 가면 여러분 이 현상으로 끝나세요. 지금 여기서 대환란에서 고통받고 그 짧은 고통으로 끝내버리세요. 지옥 가면 그 고통이 아마 그렇게 후회할 겁니다. 내가 현실 세계에서 그냥 고통받고 죽어버릴걸. 여기는 죽지도 않아. 죽을 수도 없어. 미치겠어. 지옥에서 그렇게 후회하실 겁니다. 대환란에 남겨주시면 이를 악물고 7년만 참으셨어. 하루라도 빨리 하나님께 죽여달라고, 고통 없이만 죽여달라고 그 기도하셨어. 잘 죽으셔서 하나님 나라에서 뵙기를 축복합니다. 하나님, 무엇이 진짜 복음인지 사람들이 모릅니다. 그저 사랑 난공업분 얘기만 하면 다인 줄 알고 있습니다. 하나님, 그러나 이 지옥이 있음을 크리스천들이 믿고 살아가는 것과 믿지 않고 살아가는 것은 여러분 그의 삶이 얼마나 거듭날 수 있는지 거듭나지 못하는지를 하나님 또한 가를 수 있는 주요 기준까지 될 수 있다고 저는 믿습니다. 우리 회복회 성도님들, 오늘 지옥을 증명한 것을 보았습니다. 우리가 심장에 새겨 넣었습니다. 지옥이 있음을 알고 이 세상이 다가 아니요 죽은 후에 심판이 있음을 우리가 정말 뼈가 저리도록 가슴에 심장에 새겨서 자나깨나 예수님만 붙잡기를, 자나깨나 오직 이 지옥에서 우리를 건져주실 분은 단 하나 우리 주 예수 그리스도임을 하나님 정말 심장에 새겨서 오직 그분과 함께 주여 살고 또 죽기를 소망하는 우리가 되게 하옵소서. 예수님의 이름으로 기도합나이다. 아멘. 주님 감사합니다.